What's up, guys? Garrett with Self.dev. We are back, finally. I know it's been a minute since I made a video. I've been working on this nano degree with Udacity, trying to finish that because they gave you a month free for coronavirus. And then I wanted to get everything done so I didn't have to pay for a month. I didn't, so I had to pay for a month. But now I'm trying to finish this last project before the 21st, so I don't have to pay for another month because I'm not going to do that. The price is a little too high, in my opinion. But I'll do a review video on it after I'm done, so you guys can get some more details about it. Anyway, today we are doing some more resume reviews. I swapped out a lot of the information, like the name, email, LinkedIn, GitHub, phone numbers, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. Apparently I have Word. I'm not sure how, but I can use Microsoft Word on my computer now. Maybe they gave it away for free or something. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. But in the future, if you send me your resume, assume it's going to be in a resume review video. I'm going to assume that any content on your resume is okay to show in a video. So like if your name's on there, I'm going to assume you're cool with it being in there. If your email and phone number is on there, I'm going to assume you're cool with that being in the video. So if you don't want that in there, just swap it out with placeholder stuff like name here, or your email at Gmail, or LinkedIn profile, or my GitHub, or some random number, phone number. But yeah, let's get to it. All right, first off here, this is 2 pages. We don't want that. We want to, actually, that was there too. Yeah, we don't want 2 pages. We want to keep this on 1 page because people that are looking at resumes, they're usually looking at 20, 50, 100 resumes a day, and you want to communicate the high points of your resume as quickly as possible, and having to flip to a second page or scroll down to a second page lessens the chance of them seeing all of the high points. So reduce the white space here on the top, and then on the bottom, all we've got here is about half a page of stuff. You don't need your name on the bottom here either, so you can take that off. But this is about half a page of stuff, so we just got to free up a little bit of space up here. Reducing this white space, so maybe I make it like just like a 1/4 of an inch down here, and that'll help out a lot. Would probably remove the key skills, because strong analytical and problem solving skills, leadership skills, eager to learn new things, those are all buzzwords that anybody can say. Like if you have hard statistical data to back that up, that's great, put that on there and then you can keep it. But if you don't, those are just buzzwords that everyone's going to have on their resume and they're just taking up space. So I would take those off. I would also, you had your address here, I would take that off too, because that doesn't really, if you don't have your address, they're going to assume you live in the immediate area. If you do have your address and you're applying somewhere else, they're going to screen you out based on your address, or they might screen you out based on your address. They're not like, it's not like a given, but they might. So better to have less criteria for them to screen you out on. I would also take off your birthday. I would take off all of the personal details. Granted, I don't think you lived in the US, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Might be different over there. This is like my perspective as someone in the States. But I would remove all the personal details and the address, because that's just going to give them more stuff they can screen you out based off of. There needs to be a space right here. I'm not sure if it was like that in the actual thing, but there needs to be a space there and then a space there. And then you can reduce the white space here a little bit. This will be gone. This, see, like when I'm talking about high points, this is one of the high points, like your skills, like C, C++, Python, web development, HTML and CSS. It's kind of concerning that you don't have JavaScript on there, so make sure you learn like the basics of JavaScript and then you can put it on there. Also, you have your GitHub. I'm assuming you want to be some kind of developer because you have like the technical expertise and your GitHub on here. So you also need a portfolio. You've got your projects. Did you have projects? Yes, you had your project right here. If you have that code on your GitHub, or if you have it hosted somewhere, link that up, like make those hyperlinks so they can click on it and go to the GitHub, or click on it and go to a live demo. Depending on what it's written in, you can host it, like Netlify will let you host stuff for free, Heroku will let you host stuff for free, Code Sandbox might be an option. It's not a very good option, but those are some places that'll let you host stuff for free. Let's go back up here. So, seeking a position to utilize my skills and abilities in the company and learn and grow. Seeking a position to utilize my skills and abilities in, I'd probably say, now granted my writing skills aren't the best. I'd probably say something like seeking a position to utilize my skills and abilities in a company that will allow me to learn and grow in today's dynamic scenario. I think that'd be a little bit more proper English. Dedication and willingness to walk that extra mile to achieve excellence. Again, that's more like buzzword stuff, kind of. But if you want to have an objective, that's not too bad. Talk about making sure your projects are linked up. Education, pursuing a bachelor's of engineering. So you're still pursuing the bachelor's of engineering. I would just say, I'd remove these arrows and I'd say like Bachelor of Engineering in Economics and Telecommunication. And then below that, or off to the right here, I'd say the institution's name, like Institute of Technology and Research. And then is 61.39%, is that the percent you're done with the degree? Is that your grade? Because 61.39%, to me, I don't know anything about the grade system outside the US, but to me that doesn't seem like it's a great grade. If it's not like within the top 10%, I wouldn't put it on there, because you don't want to advertise what's not good. And not that it's not good, like it could be like average, but if it's average, you still don't want to put that on there, because if they see that, they're just gonna be like, okay, that's an average grade. That doesn't like benefit you a whole lot. I'm assuming this is like high school or something, maybe, depending on what it is. Same thing with the 75%, because see, you have like 96% here, so I'm assuming that's like a super high grade, assuming those are even grades. But if it's not good, don't put it on there. If it's average, don't put it on there. But I'd organize those a little bit differently. And then Tiger Teeth traffic control system. Cool, that looks awesome. Team member. Maybe if we put that on the far right here, back up a little bit, and then you don't have this underline, that'll help remove a little bit of space. So I have like that, role, that wouldn't be too bad. And then same thing right here. And then workshops and training programs attended, C's from my captain, and/or development workshop. So overall, just try to get this on one page, remove the keys, skills. If you have statistical information on anything, put that in there. Make sure you link up your projects. If you don't have a portfolio, build a portfolio, link that up on there too. Take off this stuff. And besides that, pretty good resume. All right, next one. So I had some fun with changing names and stuff, all right? So there's that, the address, remove that. You had your GitHub, that's awesome. Portfolio, that's awesome. You had your email, good job. Again, same thing with this. So we want to kind of get it on one page if possible. So these skills, you could break those into columns. So if we go to design layout, right? Yeah. And then where columns, 3. All right, that didn't work like I wanted it to, but you would break this part into 3 columns or 2 columns or something like that. Why is it doing that? That's weird. Yeah, break that into columns so that'll take up less space. Make sure your projects are linked up, like hyperlink those. You had your GitHub, so I'm assuming the code's there. If you don't have these live anywhere, like hosted, link it to the GitHub. If you do have it live, which is better, because it's always better if they can just go in and kind of play with what you've built and see how it works. That's way better than just having the static code just sitting there on GitHub. So if you can link it up and make a demo, do that. If not, GitHub's second best choice. All right, personal profile, highly motivated, self-taught individual. Okay, basically the same as everybody else's objective statement, kind of. If you have any kind of like statistical information you can put in there, that'd be awesome. Personal experience, front-end dev intern, that's good. If you could put this on the right side over here, that'd help you save a little bit of space. And then same thing here, put that on the right side so it's like a 2-column kind of thing. That'll save some space. And then you can reduce the white space under here a little bit. That'll help bring that closer to one page. Maybe if we just make that line instead of, yeah, good tip to saving space. If you've got a full line like this, you can shrink the font size to like 8 or even like, I don't know what the smallest font size is, 3. That makes the line smaller and saves space. And then you can do the same thing here. You can make it 3. So there's a little bit of white space, but not too much white space. And then you can just do that in all the spaces here to kind of compress it a little bit more. Front-end developer intern. If you have any statistical information, put that on here. Like, let's see what you did. Cultivated ideas and contributed to the development of landing pages. Did you build landing pages? Do you have how many landing pages you built? Could you say built 10 landing pages or something like that? Engineered ideas from execution of the project, fostered a great understanding with the development team and to push project forward, collaborated with developers and designers to identify major key improvements. So those aren't too bad, but any kind of statistical data you can put in there, put that. And then as a Yeah, those are in chronological order. Cool. Same thing with this. Just if any kind of statistical information, put that in there. Also make sure these dots are aligned. I don't know if I did that or maybe it came like that, but make sure those dots are aligned because that looks kind of weird with having these indented more than those are. Education and qualifications. See, I like the way this is set up. That's good. International relations. That date is passed, so that's saying, hey, I graduated and have these. Make sure these are aligned because that looks kind of weird without those being aligned. And then same thing with this. Yeah, education section looks good. We talked about this already. Just make those multiple columns. See, there's more like white space you can reduce here. And see, we're already almost on the same page. And then we can just clear that up. That. And then that, you can make a smaller line. And then projects, we talked about those too. Just make sure those are linked up to GitHub or preferably a demo version of the project. And if you need more space, if reducing the spaces doesn't work, then you can also break this part right here into columns. So like have your, you're gonna remove your address so you can have mobile and GitHub on the left side of this block and then your portfolio and email on the right side of this block. I'm assuming since you have a portfolio that these projects are on there somewhere. Just make sure those are hyperlinked on your resume as well. Also, when you're sending your resume to people, not me, but people in general, for jobs, make sure you send it as a PDF. Because not everybody has Word, and yeah, you can open it in Google Docs, but sometimes the formatting isn't consistent, and as long as you send it as a PDF, the formatting is going to be consistent, and that's what you want. All right, third one here. First name, address was here, take your address off. You got your email, GitHub, and LinkedIn. Assuming you want to be a dev, you need a portfolio, so build a portfolio with your stuff on it. Something I noticed, the formatting isn't really consistent. Like the line height and the spacing in this part, the line height here just looks different than it does right here to me. I don't know if I'm just seeing stuff or what, but check the line height because that'll help you save space. Again, like the other resumes, we want to kind of keep this on one page if possible. Referees, so referee is basically this person who like passes judgment in a game on like fouls and stuff. I think you probably mean references, so I'd change that to references. These dots here, they're not positioned in the right spot, it looks like I'd add some spacing there between that and the word. It might just be because I have it in Microsoft Word instead of like a PDF or something like that, but check the spacing on that. These were question marks in the email when I opened it up in the preview, and they're question marks still. I don't know why that is. I'd probably remove those. Maybe they're just supposed to be graphics and I don't have those particular graphics. It's kind of interesting that you're using the same graphic for projects and education. That's kind of odd. GPA 3.0, I don't know. I'd take it off probably. Because like 3.0, again, that's just like average-ish. Like I'd probably only put your GPA on there if it's above a 3.5. And that's better than mine. I messed around freshman year and my GPA, like because I messed around freshman year, I did good the rest of the 3 years, but freshman year drugged me down and my GPA was like a 2.8 or something like that. Of course, I didn't major in computer science or anything. But yeah, I'd take your GPA off. These projects, make sure those are linked up. Did you have your portfolio? You don't have a portfolio, so let's see, what kind of project are these? Bitcoin prediction, stock prediction, sentiment analysis, glass identification, analyzing the Bitcoin data to predict the future values of the... Okay, so I don't know if these are like visual projects or just like script projects. If they're script projects, make videos going over the projects and then hyperlink these to the code in GitHub and then have a link in GitHub to the video where you're talking about the project. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see, work experience. So machine learning engineer. Why do you need my help if you were a machine learning engineer? You seem... If you're a machine learning engineer, I'm assuming you're way smarter than I am. I'm not that smart to begin with, but still. Let's go back up here. So make more space between this and this here. That might just be because I'm in Word or not, or something like that, but add a little bit of space. Having it right up against there doesn't look that great. Shrink the line height on that. Skills. So the way this is laid out, just in a table like that, kind of like it. Python, R, SQL, SAS, PySpark, Airflow, machine learning languages, visualization, and then cloud. That's not too bad. I like it. don't know if I moved that around or not, but make sure those look good. Work experience. I understand that you're trying to highlight the important words. I don't understand why batch processing is highlighted. Is that like it's like a hard thing to do in machine learning? I haven't messed with machine learning before. I like that airflow is highlighted because that's one of the skills you have here. Just some of these words, I'm kind of questioning why are they highlighted. Like loading it, like I feel like that's something you're gonna do. Like it's not super special. Again, yeah, you have see, that's good. Like stats right there. Built a chatbot using PyTorch with a loss rate of 0.5%. Good job using stats. That's good. That helps out a lot. That's like undeniable proof of stuff. A/B testing. See, that's a skill. A/B testing's good to have on there. And then you got the other data analyst job on there. Cool. I'm kind of concerned with how short those job dates are. So I hope it's not like you were working there for a few months and they're like, hey, you're not working out, we gotta let you go. And then August 19 to March. I feel like these are backwards. Like usually you have the date you started and then the date you ended. That might just be if you're outside the US. Maybe that's why, I don't know. Because see, right here you have 2018 to 2019, so like the date you started and the date it was over. Also, what? 2 years for a Master of Analytics. Do you have a Bachelor of Science in something? If you do, add that on there too. Generally, you don't go straight into a Master's, as far as I know. And then projects, make sure those are linked up. I like that you're highlighting each skill that you use in there, like SAS or SAS and R, financial, Python, volunteering. That's cool. If you can't get it all on one page with that volunteering part, you can take the volunteering off. It's good to have, but I'd take it off if it's going to prevent you from keeping it on one page. And then same thing with like the lines. You can make that like a 3-point font. Maybe not. What? Huh. Well, it worked in the resume, so that's weird that it's not working here. But you can shrink the line height. That's a good tip to get it on one thing. And then you can break this. The address is going to be gone, so you can break this into like 2 columns maybe. But just try to get that on one page, and then make sure those are hyperlinked to the stuff. And then take off the references too. If they want references, they'll ask for them. All right, so Jacob, last name. That part looks good. Don't have anything you shouldn't have up there. If you want to be a developer though, you probably need a portfolio, so I'd probably put that up there. GPA of 3.25. I mean, you can leave that on there, I guess. I probably wouldn't put it on there unless it's like above 3.5, but that's not bad. Associates of Science. Are you still doing that, or did you graduate already? If you're still doing that, put like dash current. I spelled current wrong, but whatever. But then you've got this one here, so you probably finished that. So I put the date you started, and then if that's the date you graduate, yeah, leave that. But put like the year you started too. Skills, software tools, that part looks good. Just make sure you have a firm grasp on everything up there. Like if I ask you to do FizzBuzz in PHP and then do FizzBuzz in C++, can you do that? And then you have HTML and CSS and JavaScript. So if I say, all right, do FizzBuzz in PHP, C++, Python, and Ruby, and then build me a button in HTML and CSS and JavaScript that when I click on it, it alerts my name to the screen. Can you do all that? Programming projects. So these are projects. Make sure those are linked up. Awesome that you have statistics in there. If those are like visual projects that you can see and that they can play around with, host them somewhere so there's a demo so they can play around with it, because that's always good. People love playing around with projects to see what you've built. Modified AI chess computer video game. That's really cool. So honestly, this one isn't too bad. The only thing I'd change, like if you don't have a portfolio, depending on what kind of developer you want to be, I'd probably build a portfolio and have your projects on there. And then make sure these are linked up to like a live demo so they can go play with it. If you can't get a live demo for some reason, just link it to your GitHub so they can just click on it and go straight to the GitHub. besides that, pretty good. All right, who do we have next right here? All right, so this was a PDF, so I couldn't really change anything on it, but he blacked out information, so I'm assuming he took care of everything he didn't want on there. So got the LinkedIn, GitHub, and a blog. That's kind of awesome. All right, so you have your blog, right? Is that the same thing or is that different? That's different from the blog. Okay, cool. So these are projects. See, this is good. You got the projects here. You got the source code to GitHub. Yes, you have some of them linked up live. That's awesome. Ooh, YouTube videos. That's good. Cool. And then you got the chess one. Is this a video too, or is this an actual they can play with it? Awesome. So I'm assuming they can play with it. That's cool. Download theme. Dope. So that looks good. We're focused on the resume though. So I'm kind of confused on some of these blue things. Like, why are there two right here? What are they for? Because they're on the bullet points here. And then there's one in one of your skills, shell scripting. I wouldn't say newcomer in. I'd probably just have skills and have all of these grouped together. You don't want to say, hey, I'm weak in these things. That's kind of on them. That's what they're trying to assess when they're interviewing you. If you're good at this stuff or not. Because if you get the job, you're smart. You can figure out how to do this stuff. It's up to them to make sure you're at the level they need you to be at. Summary programmers. So that part, cool. Just standard summary. Work experience. Contract trainee software engineer at Blank Technologies. Contributed to develop. Cool. Debugged and fixed CSS JavaScript. Rated as 5-star seller. That's good. The 5-star seller thing. Always like statistic stuff. Personal projects. Does this link to the project maybe? Or just, why are there two links to GitHub? I don't understand why there's two different GitHub links on that. Yeah, don't understand why there's two. And then I don't understand why there's links on all of these. Like if you just link up nodes itself or Nightskip or mini project tools, if you just link those up to the single GitHub repo that they're in, or are these all individual things? Those are all individual ones. How should you handle that? Let's see. Okay, what I'd do is probably say, so this one's like created a GUI wrapper for Windows BitLocker. So right here, before the dash, I'd say BitLocker GUI dash, and then the description, and then have the title hyperlinked. Again, I don't get the two things here. Okay, so one's to GitHub, one's to YouTube, but you probably should say that instead of having the links. So you'd have the title here, link that to the GitHub, and then in the GitHub you can have a link to the YouTube, or you can say see video and then hyperlink see video on the resume here. Recommendations, on LinkedIn, good. I was gonna say make sure you have that on LinkedIn. I don't know if you need to have that linked up on your resume though. That's kind of like if we can't get this to one page, I'd take that off. By the way, to get this to one page, shrink the line height, like these blank lines here, reduce the line to like 3 instead of 11 or 12 or whatever it is. That should free up some lines like there, here, between each one of these. You've already got the margins kind of pushed to where they need to be. Yeah, reduce those lines, see how much that space that gives you. And then also combining this into just skills instead of skill highlights and newcomer, that'll save some room too. So that'll probably get us on one page. You might have to remove that to get it at one page. Education, Bachelor of Information Technology, undergrad. If you're still going there, put the date you started and then put like your expected graduation date. Or if you went there and then dropped out, put like the date you started and then the last year you were there. Interest, capture the flag player, hack the box, heck yeah. If you want to learn how to hack and stuff, hack the box is a good place to go, because if I'm thinking of the right place, hack the box is one where you have to kind of like interact with, you kind of have to like hack it to make an account in the first place, which is really fun. Also, Try Hack Me is a new site I found that's really good too, just for learning like the basics of Linux. I haven't got past learning the basics of Linux on it yet, so I'm gonna make a review video on that eventually, but we'll see how that goes. And then extra activities past that, do 1 second place in that, that's cool. So overall, that's a really good resume too. Just try to make that, get that on one page is the biggest thing. And then I like that you got your portfolio up there. I don't think anybody else had a portfolio linked up. So props on that. What is that? Don't need that. All right, I think that's about it. So if you didn't get your resume reviewed and you've sent it to me, assume it's good. And I just didn't have any feedback for you. These are the ones I had feedback for. Also, I'm busy, so I don't have time to just sit here and review resumes all day, unfortunately. I apologize for that. Again, if you want to send me your resume to review it, make sure you swap out any information you don't want in the video with placeholder text, like email, just some random numbers, GitHub name, and in portfolio.com. Something to where I know what was there, but it's not your real stuff. Unless you're comfortable with it being in the video. If you want it in the video, that's cool. But I need you to say in the email, when you send me your resume, I need you to say, I'm comfortable with everything in this resume being in the video. I just need like written confirmation of that stuff. If you're not in the Discord, there's a link to the Discord in the description. I'm putting a new project out today. Make a new project to build every month. If you're a front-end developer or aspiring front-end developer, it's a good place to get practice projects to build. This month, it's gonna be like a stock quote thing. So it'll display like the stock prices and then a chart. And I build it at the end of the month. What else do I want to talk about? I think that's about it. If you want to connect on LinkedIn or anything else, all my connections, all my socials are in the description. LinkedIn, no, not LinkedIn. Discord's probably the best place to reach me. Just come post a message in chat. I think that's about it. So I will see you next time. Peace.
Round 1.